playing tricks on us and stuff.
Don't know. Can't really think about that, but just thinking about it now, I think it's just a place where our mind likes to have a bit of fun.
Yeah, because it's like our brain is so complicated that we don't even know about it. We don't know its possibilities.
And also, this is also another interesting fact. The more you play games, such as shooters or whatever, survivals or adventures,
Yeah.
the more you will do better in your dreams. Now, or nightmares, sorry. Or slightly as in dreams, as if like you're trying to survive, like if you're in Amazon or whatever. Say if there's a zombie apocalypse, right? In my dream.
Yeah.
I played a game which is shooting with zombies. I would know how to hold a gun. I would know how to take out the zombies.
Yeah.
And it's kind of interesting to know that you know, if you play games, you know how to fend off to your nightmares, kind of.
Yeah, sort of.
Kind of thought it was quite interesting.
Yeah. Okay, so talking about games, let's move on to the review section.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about Sucker Punch?
Okay. Sucker Punch is a new film that has come out, and it is rated a 12A, so like anybody could see it. And basically, the storyline is so terrible that you won't want to watch it. But the only thing that draws you in is it's like full of like 6 semi-naked women, like for the whole storyline, and they're like holding guns and they're like shooting people. That's the only thing that kept my attention.
What is the story?
The story, it was so random, I had no idea what was going on. Basically, I think what was happening is, when this girl was like made an orphan, and she got taken in by some guy, and, he was like a pimp, and, there was all of these girls, and they were like prostitutes and stuff, and strippers, and, they had to dance or something. And this girl had some random special powers that when she danced, that she imagined that she was somewhere else. So the first dance, she was like dancing, but you didn't see her dance. And she got transported into some snowy place, and she walked up, and she goes up to this random guy. I think he was like half Chinese. And then she goes up to him, and then he goes, "What do you want?" And he goes, "I don't know." Or she goes, "I don't know." And then he goes, "Okay, what can I do for you?" And then she says, "Oh, I want to get out of here." And he goes like, "If you want to get out of here, the first step is to take these weapons." And it's like a samurai sword and like a gun with like 3 mags. And then she takes it, and then she turns around, and there's like 3 giant, massive, stone statues, and then she like defeats them, and then she goes back into real life and stuff like that, and she's sweating, and everybody's applauding. And oh no, actually I missed a key factor. The guy says that to escape you need 5 things. The first one is a map. The second one is I can't remember the second one. The third one is a knife, and the fourth one is the key. And the fifth one was a mystery. Okay, so she does these random dances, and then they get these guns, and then they're in COD 5 for some reason. And well, it looks like, it basically looks like COD 5, the map where they're shooting.
What's the map?
I can't remember what it's called, but it just looked like COD 5. And then there's some random planes that flew across, and then it's like random thing that she jumped into, or this other person jumps into, and then she just jumps about and starts shooting people with it. It's really weird. And it's sort of like an indie thriller sort of thing. And it turns out that these people get hypnotized when she dances, and then they can do whatever they want. So she hypnotizes them while they dance, and then all the other people collect the items that they need to escape. And there's like a twist at the end. It's like the pimp, he finds out what they're doing, and he suspects these 2 people, and then one of them like tells tells them because she's scared, and he basically goes into the room. He gets this Chinese woman, I think, and he just turns around and shoots her in the back of the head. And I was like, whoa, where did that come from? And then and he goes, well, thank you for telling me about this. And then he goes, but no one likes a snitch. And then he shoots her in the head. It's like, what is going on? And then right at the end, it was so weird. She gets...
Okay. I think we should stop there because you might be spoiling it for the film.
Yeah, that's basically the whole film anyway. So, but my review on it is, if you like women, then it's a good film.
Well, what's the acting scenes like? Is it good CGI?
Yeah, it's good CGI. I think it's high budget film.
Is the acting good?
Yeah, well, it's women, and basically it's like zombies, that they have to kill zombies, and then they get the stuff. That's it. You need to see the film to actually understand it. But we got kicked out of. We was gonna see Limitless.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a freshie at the counter, and we got kicked out. He called the manager and said that we couldn't prove that we was 15. So.
I was gonna say, what is it a good? Would you say you should see the film? Would you recommend it? In whole, of just to even girls or just to anyone, would you recommend it?
I think it's quite a good film, actually. Yeah, I would recommend it.
Out of 5, what would you give it? 5 stars.
4, I think. 4. 4 is fair.
Okay. Do you want to talk about the game?
Yeah. What about Homefront versus Crysis 2?
Okay. Well, how about we both talk about the games separately?
Yeah, you start with Crysis then.
And then we. What? Do you want me to start?
Yeah, you start with Crysis.
Okay. Crisis. It's going to take me a long time to explain the backstory, but okay, basically, I've played Crisis 2, and that's the only one which is for my console. I don't want to say it, because I don't want to start a fight with anyone, but on my console, it only is available on the console Crisis 2, and you couldn't get Crisis 1 on the console because it's only on the computer. And basically, I looked up story on Crisis 1, and the story is basically a bunch of a team. I think it's about 5 people. There's the leader, he's a black guy, and his name's Prophet, right? You play as a guy called Nomad. Well, I'm not sure really his name, but he's a British guy, and he was in SAS, and those 3 characters survived, right? And there's the other 2 who died, and they died in mysterious ways, but they basically died by aliens. And the story is basically they went in there because it's set in North Korea, but I think it's a made up island, but it's basically meant to be in North Korea, and or owned by North Korea, sorry. And basically, they didn't know it existed. Right? They basically went there, and they what? What'd you say?
He was kind of lagging.
Oh, 1 minute. Let me just turn off some stuff.
Yeah, it's better.
Let me just turn off my Facebook. Right. Where was I? Yeah, basically. They, shut up. Okay, no, not you. Just keeps popping up on my screen. Anyway, basically, as I was saying, they didn't know that aliens existed. They went there and they were told that, North Korea's doing some dodgy stuff, and they were there just to kill some North Koreans, basically.
Alright, so basically...
Is it lagging? Because I just quickly... Oh, wait, let me just carry on.
It's better, yeah.
Yeah. It's Wait, let me just double check my connections. It's stupid. Alright, basically, basically they didn't know that they were just there to kill some aliens. And, no, not aliens, sorry, North Koreans, and they had to just sort some shit out with North Koreans, basically. And then two of the soldiers died. Well, one of them died mysteriously. And they kept on walking, and then they, saw an alien. But it was like a Martian alien. It was like one of those sort of squiddy flying ones. And it took another of the soldiers, and that one died. And that's why two of them died. And, basically they found out aliens existed. But the thing is, it's kind of like a story from War of the Worlds, where they were here millions of years ago, and they just sort of arose. And basically, yeah, and the guy who made the suits, right? He knew about the aliens because I'll come on to that next in the Crisis 2, and he knew about the aliens, but he made the suits as the only hope to get rid of the aliens, and he made them so like they were like their test subjects, so that what would happen to the suits when they come in contact with the aliens, and basically, so yeah, they were kind of like lab rats, and the military, the Navy get involved because they see this giant sort of alien thing underground, and they go under. And Prophet stays there, or whatever, and they think he's dead. But Nomad and the British guy, they go back to the Navy, and they're like, yeah, okay. And Navy launch a nuclear missile onto the island, and it turns out that, well, the nuclear missile didn't actually destroy anything, and it just made it more bigger. And and then Nomad and then the British guy, they were about to fly off, and then they were like, okay. And then they got a transmission from Prophet, and they went back in. That's the end of Crisis 1. That's just a brief kind of...
Not brief, it went on for like 5 minutes.
It's hard, okay? It's a long game. I never played it, but I just looked at the story, and it's quite long. Anyway, and Crisis 2 is set in New York, and it's set 3-4 years after the events of Crisis 1, and basically you don't know what happens to, and Prophet turns up in the game, right? And he's kind of big deal in it, and the other two, the British guy and the Nomad, whatever his name is, they don't appear in the game, and anyway, they don't appear in the game, and Prophet, because before the aliens invaded New York, which they were because aliens were underground every city and every major part of the world, right? And this was they were about to all invade, right? And before the aliens came up to New York, they released an infection which killed basically everyone in New York, pretty much, quite a lot of people. They didn't turn them into zombies. Nothing happened to them. They just died. And basically, Prophet, you're a Marine, and your name is Alcatraz, and Prophet gets the infection, and he's going to die, right? And he's wearing a new type of suit, a nano suit, but it's a new edition of the nano suits, right? And he gives you his suit because he just gives you a suit, right? And he killed himself, so the suit stops bonding with him, and it starts to bond with you. And basically, the suits, because obviously you're gonna interact with the infection. The suit learns from the gets rid of the infection, and at the end of the game, it gets rid of them. It knows the cure for the infection, and basically, the story is that you just basically go around New York saving people's asses, and it's a good game. It's really good. It's probably one of my favourite FPSs.
First person shooter.
Yeah, and basically, as I was saying about the guy who created the suits, turns out he's actually 100 years old. But he's in this thing which is keeping him alive.